Have you ever worked for someone so heartless that you start wondering if karma takes coffee breaks? Because this is the story of the day I quit my job mid-shift, not out of laziness, not out of drama, but because my manager thought pain was optional and doctor's notes were just suggestions. What she didn't realize was that her arrogance would cost her everything: her credibility, her reputation, and her precious team effort. So buckle up. This is a slow burn revenge story. One part pain, two parts petty satisfaction. If you've ever been treated unfairly at work or had a boss who thought empathy was a weakness, hit that like button, subscribe, and get comfy, because you're about to hear one of the most satisfying workplace revenge stories I've ever told. Let's rewind. January. Cold air. Pain in my leg that wouldn't quit. I thought it was just a bad bruise at first. Maybe I overdid it at work. But no. My doctor's face said it all. The scans confirmed it. A tumor in my tibia. Lower left leg, just where every step hurts the most. Surgery, specialists, fear. It all hit like a freight train. When my surgeon told me I had to stop working for a while, it wasn't a suggestion. He literally said, "If you keep walking on this, you could snap your bone in half." Nice visual, right? Not the kind of thing you forget. But somehow, after months of healing, after surgery and physical therapy, I finally made it back to work. No restrictions, technically, but my surgeon also said, take it slow. Don't push yourself. Pain is your warning sign. If only my shift leader got that memo. Fast forward. 2.5 weeks ago, I finally clocked back in. The grocery store was buzzing like a beehive, carts squeaking, people arguing over avocados, scanners beeping. I was back in my old department, curbside pickup, basically running around collecting orders, bagging them, and hauling them to cars. And Sunday? That's war zone day. It's our busiest shift of the week, the kind where managers walk fast just to look stressed and customers act like you're ruining their life if you forget their oat milk. But I was determined. I wanted to prove to myself that I could do it. The first hour went okay. Then, that familiar ache started. Not a twinge, not soreness, real pain. Like someone was twisting a knife in my shin every time I took a step. I tried to tough it out. I told myself, "You're fine." Just another hour. But after an hour and a half, it was unbearable. My leg felt like it was vibrating with pain. I was limping, trying not to cry, and customers were still waving me down like I was invisible. So I did the responsible thing. I asked my shift leader if I could take my break early, just 20 minutes early. I explained everything, told her my leg was killing me, that I just needed to sit for a bit before it got worse. And you know what she said? She didn't even look up from her clipboard. Just this smug, robotic tone. "I'm in pain too." This is a team effort. Unless you have a doctor's note, you can't take your break early. I stood there in disbelief. I did have a doctor's note. It was on file. She'd seen it before. But in that moment, it wasn't about policy. It was about power. She wanted to make a point, that she was in charge and my pain didn't matter. The irony? She limped a little herself sometimes. Karma's foreshadowing, maybe? I wanted to scream, "Lady, I literally had a tumor cut out of my leg." But instead, I just nodded, biting my tongue so hard I thought it might bleed. 5 minutes later, she graciously allowed me to take my break. I walked, well, hobbled, to the break room, collapsed into a chair, and just sat there. My leg throbbed like it was pulsing in sync with my heartbeat. That's when it hit me. I was done. Sitting there in that ugly fluorescent break room, surrounded by motivational posters that said things like, "Teamwork makes the dream work," I realized something brutal. The dream they were talking about wasn't mine. I was risking my health for a job that would replace me before my chair even got cold. I'd been loyal, patient, quiet. And for what? Every time I needed something, this same shift leader, let's call her Kathy, made it difficult. Time off requests? We'll see. Asking for lighter duties post-surgery? We all have to pull our weight. And now, when I literally could not stand anymore, she pulled the same garbage. So I made my decision right there. I was going to do something I'd never done before. Not yell, not argue, just walk away. After my 15-minute break, I got up, grabbed my stuff, and went straight to the front. The pain in my leg had subsided just enough to make walking possible, but it felt poetic. Every limp was one step closer to freedom. I found the manager on duty, not Kathy, but one of the higher-ups, and I said as calmly as possible, "I'm done." I quit. No tears, no yelling, just quiet finality. They blinked, stunned. You can't just leave mid-shift, especially on a Sunday. I smiled. Watch me. I walked to the time clock, clocked out, and for the first time in months, felt something I hadn't felt in forever. Relief. Then, as I was leaving, I heard my name over the loudspeaker. "Can my name please return to curbside?" I laughed. Nope, not this time. They'd have to figure it out without me. Here's the thing. I was scheduled to open all week, every single morning. And anyone who's ever worked retail knows how painful it is to lose your opener unexpectedly, especially during peak season. So when I left that Sunday, I didn't just quit a shift. I lit a metaphorical fuse that would explode their schedule for days. Later that day, one of my coworkers texted me, "Dude, Kathy's losing it. We're drowning out here." I pictured her red-faced, running around trying to do my job and hers, probably muttering something about lazy kids these days. Oh, the satisfaction. Then the main store boss, the one who always acted like a politician at a press conference, walked by as I was checking out my groceries on my way out. He saw me. We made eye contact for half a second, and he looked away. Angry, maybe even embarrassed. I didn't say a word, just smiled and left. Over the next week, chaos unfolded. I heard from another coworker that Kathy had gotten written up. Apparently, management reviewed her handling of my situation and realized she'd ignored my medical documentation. HR got involved, and guess who was suddenly very nice to everyone after that? Yeah, Kathy. She didn't get fired, unfortunately, but her authority evaporated overnight. People stopped listening to her, and the irony, they had to hire 2 new people just to cover my position. I guess that's what happens when you drive away the people who actually care. That night when I got home, I propped my leg up on the couch, iced it, and just breathed. No more angry managers. No more pushing myself for people who wouldn't even read my doctor's note. Just peace. It wasn't flashy revenge. I didn't get anyone fired. I didn't make a scene. But sometimes the sweetest revenge isn't loud. It's walking away and letting them sit in the mess they made. Because in that store, Sunday was their busiest day. But for me, it was Freedom Day. Here's the thing. We're taught to push through pain, to be team players, to smile and nod even when it hurts. But sometimes self-respect is the loudest no you can give. And trust me, when you finally walk away from a place that takes more from you than it gives, it feels so good it's almost addictive. If this story gave you that sweet dose of karma satisfaction, hit that like button. It helps way more than you think. Drop a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories of poetic payback and real-world justice. Because sometimes, walking away is the revenge.